LeBron James is no longer a Los Angeles Laker. According to Shams, LeBron says that he will continue his NBA career for the 26-27 season and has informed the Los Angeles Lakers that the franchise can move on without him. Now, this is great for LeBron. I actually feel so bad because three of their best players in that playoff run were Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, and obviously LeBron. And now all three of those players are gone. Yes, Luka is still there, and I definitely think that he can make an incredible run this year. But Rob Pelinka definitely needs to step up and start building around Luka properly, because I don't think that this roster is going to go anywhere. And that's no hate to Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton, or anyone on that team. I just don't think that this team is very strong. But besides the Lakers, let's talk about LeBron. The most interesting thing about LeBron saying that he wants to play for a different team is that he did say that he's willing to take a veteran's minimum contract to play for a contender. He doesn't intend to make a financially driven decision. Him willing to take a minimum contract means that any NBA team could technically land him, but then his mention of wanting to play for a contender instantly eliminates that possibility. This just shows that LeBron does want to win, and he's not doing this for any retirement thing. But I think LeBron winning a 5th ring would be generational. It would be incredible to see him win a ring at 42 years old, just proving the Jordan fans wrong and the LeBron James haters wrong too.
Hi LeBron, you're looking extra glorious today.
But anyway, Rich Paul actually posted this picture right here, which shows all the potential teams that LeBron James could go to. 5 teams stand out of this list, and those are the Sixers, the Cavs, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Heat. He also wrote down the Spurs, the Knicks, and the Dallas Mavericks, and then wrote Steph plus Dre and Brad plus Tatum on the side as well. But here I've made a tier list that shows all the potential teams that LeBron James could go to based on Rich Paul's list. So we have the T-Wolves, the Knicks, the Cavs, the Warriors, the Nuggets, the Sixers, the Spurs, the Mavs, the Miami Heat, and of course the Boston Celtics. So I'm going to rank all these teams based on... Oh wait, I need to change this. One sec. So I'm going to rank all these teams based on which one is most likely to round LeBron James. Okay, so I've fixed the tier list and I've added 100%, very likely, sure, probably not, and never. Basically, the bottom is for teams that would never land LeBron James, and the top is for teams that would most likely land LeBron James. And only one team can go to the 100%, which will end up being the one which I think LeBron James will go to. So let's start with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I am a Timberwolves fan, and I would love to see LeBron James playing on our team. When we traded away Nas Reed for LaMelo, still a horrible trade, I'm not gonna lie. And then we salary dumped Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets. So now there's a very big spot in our roster for a power forward. And who better than to put there than LeBron James himself? There's no doubt that the Minnesota Timberwolves want LeBron James. They're trying very hard to land him. But the question is whether LeBron James would play for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But when you compare it to the rest of the teams, I'm putting the Minnesota Timberwolves in very likely. With that said, let's move on to the New York Knicks, who had just come off of an NBA championship and most recently lost Mitchell Robinson to the Boston Celtics. I'm a very firm believer in if it ain't broken, don't fix it. The Knicks just won a chip and had one of the greatest playoff runs ever. They beat the Spurs in 5 and went on a 12-0 run, which is insane. I think going into next season, the Knicks have the biggest chance of winning a chip, and I do think that they can go back-to-back. And I don't know if adding LeBron James would be the best decision. I think the Knicks should just leave what they have already going for them. But I don't think it would work out as well as people think it would, which is why I actually have the Knicks at a never. Obviously, anything could happen, and this is just my opinion, so if you do disagree, that's fine. You can make your own tier list. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's all good. This is just my opinion. But anyway, let's move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron's already reunited with the Cavs before in his career, and I don't see why he can't do it again. However, him saying that he wants to play for a contending team, the Cavs are looking quite unlikely.
Well, it's out the mud. We got the shot count.
The Cavs in these playoffs were very disappointing. Donovan Mitchell definitely stepped up, but as usual, James Harden choked in the playoffs like he always does. And apparently Donovan Mitchell wants out. But with that said, I genuinely can't see LeBron going back to Cleveland. Him winning his 5th ring with Cleveland would be generational. In my mind, him going to Cleveland would be a 100%. But the only thing that's not putting it there is the fact that this team is not very good. And if he genuinely wants to win a ring, he's going to have to go to a team that's a lot better than the Cavs, which is why I'm going to put the Cavs at a sure. It would be cool to see, but I don't think he'd be winning anything within the next 2 years. And now let's move on to the Warriors. Now, I'm not even going to say too much about it. I'm going to put it in never. I just think signing LeBron James wouldn't change anything, to be honest. Not only do they have no future, but they're not even contending for anything right now. LeBron James and the Warriors would be cool, but they wouldn't win anything. It would be cool to see, but that's really it. Which is why I have the Warriors at never. I just don't think that it's a good decision for LeBron to go there. Next, I have the Nuggets. Now, of course, as a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, I hate the Nuggets. But with that said, I think LeBron James on the Nuggets would be incredible. A starting 5 of Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson, LeBron, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic would be incredible. There's an argument for Jokic being a top 5 center of all time, and I think he is. He needs to win one more ring and is completely solidified. So if he does win that ring with LeBron James, that would be insane. I don't see any downsides for LeBron James going to the Nuggets, but I'm only going to put it in a very likely. And that's just because compared to the other teams that I have on this list, I think that those teams have a higher chance of landing LeBron than the Nuggets. And one of those teams are the Sixers, which is next on the list. The Sixers just made one of the best trades this offseason for Jaylen Brown, and now have one of the best rosters in the NBA. I think LeBron James onto that roster would just be unfair for any other team. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Embiid would be disgusting. This team would go back to back to back to back to back, bro. I'm not even joking. This team could be better than the 2017 Warriors. And I know that's crazy to say, but just think about it. You have 2 MVPs in LeBron James and Embiid, and 2 finals MVPs on that team as well. Who's really stopping you guys? So I can genuinely see LeBron going to the Sixers, and I can see it being a disaster for every other team in the league. So I'm going to put the Sixers in very, very, very likely. I would have them in 100%, but there is one team which I think LeBron James will 100% go to, and that is not the Sixers. But it is looking very, 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 very likely that he will go there. But actually, I'm going to put the Warriors in probably not. It's possible that LeBron goes there, it just wouldn't be great for either side. Next I have the Spurs, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, I'm going to put them in never. LeBron James going there is a guaranteed ring, 100% they would win a ring with LeBron on that team. But I don't know if the Spurs would do that. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think this is kind of like an agreed idea that everyone has, especially Rich Paul too, since he did put the Spurs to the side and not as one of the main teams that LeBron could go to, which is why I have the Spurs at never. Next, I have one of the most interesting teams on this list in my opinion, and that's the Mavs. Obviously, LeBron James would reunite with Kyrie, but him playing alongside Cooper Flag would be generational. Him, LeBron, and Kyrie as the big three would be incredible. And although this team are the least contending team on this list, I do think that there is an argument for them being contenders within the next 2 years. With that said, I'm going to put the Mavs in probably not. It would be incredible to see, but it's just LeBron James' mention of wanting to play for a contender that I don't know if this will actually happen, which is why I have them in probably not. Next, we have the Boston Celtics. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm just putting these guys in never already. The best players on that team are Jason Tatum, Paul George, and Mitchell Robinson. This team isn't contending for anything.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got a shot count.
And if LeBron goes to the Celtics, I think he'd be in the same situation he was in LA. So it doesn't really make a difference. He just went from the West to the East. So I really don't see LeBron James going there. But anyway, I think you guys expected me to say this, but the last team that I have that LeBron James could go to are the Miami Heat. This team 100% will land LeBron James. LeBron going back to Miami would be so tough. Imagine Giannis, Bam, and LeBron on the same team. And it would be so great to see Giannis win a ring alongside LeBron James, someone who's already won a ring in that city. So seeing Giannis, Bam, and LeBron is definitely a possibility. But with LeBron, I definitely think they can win a ring within the next 2 years, which is why I have this team at 100%. Anyway, that's all. Let me know what you thought of this idea. It's a new thing that I'm doing with tier lists. And also tell me if you disagree with anything I put there and what you guys would say instead. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more ideas for videos, then please let me know down below because I want to try different stuff. And yeah, that's all. So thank you.